This one marketing principle has transformed my entire business. Now, I'm sure you've heard the news. Alex Hormozi just broke the world record for selling the most amount of books in a single day. Now, what exactly allowed him to do that? Well, it's two things, and I'm going to show you exactly what they are. Now, you have to think about it. If you're growing a business, what is the highest leverage action? Is it the world's best product, the world's best funnels and salesmanship? Is it the best marketing? Well, it's none of those. It's something that overarches everything that connects through all of it. And what that is your brand. Now, what is a brand? What is branding? The best definition I've heard of is really actually quite simple. And a brand is what comes up in someone's mind when they think of you or your business. So you have a personal brand, your business has a brand. So what comes to mind when you think of the word Rolex? Money, millionaires, abundance, success, luxury. So your business has thousands, if not millions, of brands, and it's the perception that each person holds when they think of your business. Now, branding is one of the biggest levers you can pull in business, and it's not just a logo. Like I said, it's the perception. Now, there are some people like an Iman Ghazi that are masters at really public perception, how they're perceived. There's companies like Rolex that are awesome at really understanding that they need to control how the public perceives them. Now, Alex Hormozi has built up so much massive goodwill with his audience, and he's done that by giving free value for literal years without asking for anything in exchange. So when he was able to launch his book, $100 million offers, and have a quite big ask and, do the whole upsells and downsells and everything that he's teaching in the book, he was able to break a world record for selling the most amount of books. So that is one of the highest leverage parts you have in business, is your brand. Now, how do you build up your brand? Well, it's the associations that other people have when they think of your business. So if you're associated with luxury or wealth or a high quality lifestyle, that is going to attract those types of purchasers. Now, building up my marketing agency, I was able to manage over 6 figures per month in ad spend. That means other people trusted me with over $100,000 of their money each month to allocate to Facebook, Google, and YouTube ads. Everything from the creatives, what we're saying, their offer, their messaging, their funnels, etc. So with that, I've learned a ton. Now, there's always an argument of whether you should run paid advertising or focus on organic. And really, at the end of the day, it's what can get the most eyeballs on you. If you have the best product in the world and no one knows about it, do you really have the best product in the world? Probably not. Now, working with a lot of these startups, what I figured out is these people will ship a product really early. They'll set up a simple landing page and test their offer against the market. And this is what we would guide my clients into doing. Because especially when we niche down into consumer apps and we were able to really scale up some of the most popular apps in the world, but not all of the founders we worked with were successful. A lot of the apps that we worked out with didn't succeed. And one of the main reasons is they had this brilliant idea for an app. They spent all their money building it out until it was 100% polished, and then they launched it against the market, only to realize that the market doesn't really even care about their product or offer. So there's something immensely valuable in getting out in the market and posting about your product, sharing about it, running an ad campaign, and seeing what the market likes. And you may be surprised. They may find certain features or benefits of your product immensely valuable, or things that you thought would be amazing, and they may not care about it at all. So overarching all of this, though, is brand, right? And brand awareness. And how do you build up so much attention to where selling your product becomes easy? One of the biggest mistakes I made in business was thinking that if I could design the best websites in the world or run the best marketing campaigns, that people would find me. And I realized that those people that went out and they started creating content, posting on social media and building up their brand and their following, even if they didn't have a better product starting off, they were able to because they could go and focus on sales and marketing. And even though in the beginning they may have not gotten the best results, they had the capital to improve their product. So if you're building out a product, and this is one of the biggest mistakes I see founders make, whether it's a consumer app, an e-commerce product, a coaching product, They go and they try and create the perfect product 100% all the way through before selling anyone into the product. So there are a few really high leverage things in your business. One is your brand and really building up the attention and realizing that you want to be perceived in a certain way. How do you master that? Well, you can think, what are your favorite brands in this space? What are your favorite creators? What do they do? And then you can go and emulate them in some regard. Obviously, you want to be authentic and, share what's true to you. So if you're building a product, I encourage you to go and create content and advertise it and market it really early, even if the product isn't 100% finished. Get some feedback, see what people like, see what people don't like, and then you can always take a step back to go and finish building out the product before you launch it again. But if you spend all this time building out an amazing product only to realize a year from now that the market changes, what they want changes, and that your product really wasn't that valuable from the get-go, then you save yourself a year of wasted time. So after you do that, you can really understand that one of the highest leverage things that you can do as a founder is build a brand and a following and awareness. Because if this first product doesn't work out, which is most likely the case, for example, I've had 9, 10 different startups before I saw any real success in business. It may be the same for you. Maybe you're a one-hit wonder in the first business you try. You're so good and a natural prodigy that you go and create a hyper-successful business. More likely, it's going to be multiple iterations of your business and your offer and your product before you really strike gold. And once you strike gold, that's all you need to really make it. But getting to that point may require so many different iterations and testing and going through failures, right? A lot of the big companies, for example, Lamborghini, they started as a tractor company, but they made many different pivots to get there. Now, there's countless examples of this happening. And one thing that transcends the timelines of your product and your business is your brand and the awareness and the following that you can build. So if you're a founder like myself and you were really hesitant to getting on the camera and making videos, I encourage you. It's one of the greatest assets that you can build. And you see this whole notion of the founder-led brand, right? Elon Musk has a lot more awareness than Tesla. And there's also countless cases of this as well. Now, if you would like the exact advertising strategy, the exact ad scripts and funnels and everything that goes into scaling a successful business, I created a free training below breaking down exactly that.